got him to authenticate my statement, my signature, and he stamped it. What did my statement say? In that statement of June 6, 2015, which I gave to Dennis Wren, I gave a brief history of my political career in the People's Partnership Government. I said, among other things, that in late 2012, as Minister of National Security, 2 security officers from the Prime Minister's security detail who were at a Philippine residence had complained to me about all-night parties which were being held at the PM's residence. My statement further said that I told the PM about the said complaint and she was dismissive of it. My statement also said that on the afternoon of Friday, April 12, 2013, when Parliament was in session, DCP Mervyn Richardson came to me and called me from the Parliament and took me to an adjoining room and informed me that the security officers at the PM's Philippine home had found that very morning, Friday, April 12, 2013, they had found a packet of marijuana weighing 4 ounces outside a window of the Prime Minister's Philippine home. And based on the amount, according to Richardson, it can be for the purpose of trafficking. Richardson also told me that CS Lieutenant Gary Gould, head of the special branch, was directly in charge of the Prime Minister's security detail at a home, at the office, and that he would speak with him on the matter. I also called Dr. Munilal at the same time because Munilal was leader of government business, and I also was aware of his closeness to the Prime Minister. So I called him from the Parliament and asked him how we should deal with the matter. And Munilal suggested that I should immediately call the Prime Minister overseas and inform her, which I did. I said in my statement to Ms. Wren that the PM sounded surprised, and she asked whether she should return home immediately, and whether she should resign, and whether she should resign. And I prevailed upon her not to do so. In that statement, I said that the PM, Prime Minister, then spoke to DCP Mervyn Richardson, who again informed the Prime Minister of what he had told me. In that same statement, I said that we, Munilal, Richardson, and I, would use our best efforts to bury it. By this time, Gary Griffith, who had not been present, had also been informed by me. On Friday, June 12th, so I leave my statement now, that is summary of my statement. On Friday, June 12th, the Parliament was dissolved, and the Speaker invited all the parliamentarians to the tea room upstairs for drinks. I refused to attend. And let me tell you this, for the last 2 years, I never had a meal with them. I never ate with them. I never supped with them. And in Parliament, I only worked with them. And that happened since after Shoguna's West. By election, the level of vitriol, the level of anger, animosity, I said I stand far from those people. The things they said about me, my family, and so on. So those of you who were in Parliament, you would see that I studiously slipped past the Prime Minister on my way out of the Parliament. I made my way home. On my way home, I called Dennis Wren of the Trinidad Express, who had said that she was in Maruga the morning. I asked her how fast she was going back to Port of Spain. She said she's in Sawa. I said, wait for me by the Quasi. I have something to give you. And she waited, and I gave her my statement on the party bus route and the Quasi. She read it and then asked me a few questions, to which I responded. My statement was then reported in the Sunday Express of June 14, 2015. Friends, all of Sunday morning, not a single word I heard from anybody. Not a single word from the PMC camp. And my impression is that the reason in the morning to try to see how much damage control they could do based on the article in the Express. In the afternoon, Captain Gary Griffith called me and we spoke on the entire matter. He again called me shortly after the first call, and we again spoke on the said matter. And then, from that time to now, every action possible has been taken to discredit what I have said, and such action as late as today by the acting Commissioner of Police, whose acting status, Anna Logan had said, must be maintained to keep him in line. So let's now move to the facts themselves as they are. And let's now see the PM and our PR team and our cabinet colleagues, none of whom was there except one. Sewage wasn't there. MacLeod wasn't there. They were in their mouth and so on, but they were not there. What really now happened after Sunday? My friends, one argument put forward is that the Prime Minister left Trinidad and Tobago on Sunday, April the 14, 2013, to deliver a speech at the UN at 9:30 a.m. on the morning of Monday the 15th. In other words, that article in the Express by Anna Ramdas, if we take the Prime Minister PR team seriously, of which Ramdas is one, it meant, therefore, that the PM came from the car plane, showered, and went straight to the UN. Straight to the UN. I am saying to you that this is ludicrous. And what is even more ridiculous is their effort to use Ms. Ramdas, their supporter in Trinidad Express, to use her to bolster the story by using a release from His Excellency the President in Trinidad Gazette. In today's Express, Ms. Ramdas' release shows that on April the 14th, the President said, April 14, 2013, that the President said that Dukaran would act for the Prime Minister. My friends, April the 14th, 2013, is here. This is the Gazette. April 14, 2013. This is the Gazette referred to deliberately by Ms. Ramdas. I'll tell you why just now. This document says, it is hereby notified for general information that His Excellency the President, acting in accordance with the advice of the Prime Minister, in exercise of the power vested in him by Section 78(1) of our Constitution, authorized the Honorable Winston Chandrabaran Dukaran, a member of the House of Parliament, so and so, with effect from the afternoon of 14th April 2013 and continuing during the absence of the PM. This document does say so, and it's dated April the 18th, number 50, and it does say that Dukaran has to act from April the 14th until such time the Prime Minister returns. But I want to fast track you to a document on May 2nd, 2013, and you will agree that May 2nd document is more relevant than April 18th. And I'll tell you why shortly. In this document of May 2nd, I'll leave this from there soon. This is Jack 101 now. Of May 2nd, the Prime Minister, the President says, he says, it is hereby notified for general information that His Excellency, the President, acting in accordance with the advice of the Prime Minister, in exercise of the power vested in him by subsection 1 of section 78 of the Constitution, has revoked with effect from the evening of 20th April, the authority confirmed on the Honorable Winston Chairman Dukaran by instrument dated 12th April to perform the function of Prime Minister. He gave him the instrument on April 12th, and this is in the May document. So if Ms. Ramdas wanted to be fair to the public, she would have quoted this as well. But of course, you'll get this one in sunshine today. This one. Then I went. So when I saw this was a big controversy of what day she left the country, I went to the airport VIP lounge to get a look at the records of those persons who left the lounge on April 12, 2013. I was told that the books had been seized by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and up to now have not been returned. I then called Foreign Affairs. I spoke to a young lady there. I told her what I wanted to get the record of the books from the VIP lounge to see what day the Prime Minister flew out. She said, that is not my business. She can't give it to me. That's all right. I then called the New York consulate to speak to Nan Ramgulam. I was advised that she was in a meeting. I then told the young lady what I wanted to find out. She said she can't give me that information. I then tried to get a copy of the Cal Manifest for Friday, April 10, 2013, but that proved difficult as late as yesterday. I then went and checked the Hansard of the Parliament for Friday, April 12, 2013. And while there is no excuse from the Prime Minister to the Speaker for that day, nowhere in the Hansard you will see any reference being made of the presence of the Prime Minister. And moreover, the staff, the parliamentary staff, advised me that the Prime Minister was not in Parliament on that day. So finally I said, that is not my business. It's not my business to prove that the Prime Minister was out of the country on April 12, 2013. But instead, it is the Prime Minister's duty to prove that she was in the country. And up to now, I am yet to hear that proof. It's up to her to prove that there was no ganja in her house that morning. I tell you this also. She must also tell the country of her closeness to Anna Roberts and why. My friends, it is informative to note that before the Prime Minister departed on April 12th, I did advise the Prime Minister that both she and AG Anna Ramlogan would have been out of the country at the same time. I told the Prime Minister that her detractors will attack her because the two persons to form a cabinet are the Prime Minister and the AG. And if they are both out, I am saying to her, and you have two people acting, they will attack you based on the constitutionality of the whole situation. I did not know if it was right or wrong. All I felt, you can't have two key people all at the same time. She said it was okay for Dukaran to act. She said and that Ramlogan would return on April 13th, Saturday. I checked the Hansard. It's here, 13th. But worse yet, in Ramlogan's absence, she put Munilal to act as AG. Now, Munilal passed his law exam in 2010. I have no evidence he ever was called to practice before the bar. I said, Prime Minister, this is dangerous. Look at here. Look at here. So therefore, Ram Logan rushed back to Trinidad on the 13th. But on the 11th, 12th, 13th, this country had no prime minister, no attorney general. What now of the 4 ounces of marijuana? My friends, DCP Richardson showed me on his phone, he showed Munir also, a picture of 4 ounces of marijuana. And therefore I'm saying to you, it should be very, very easy for TSCT to check Richardson's phone, his phone record of April 12, 2013, and to see if what I'm saying is true. All he has to do, say, look, it's not true, check my phone that day. You will see a picture of 4 ounces of marijuana. The police diary, which the acting commissioner of police said this morning, has no entry of the 4 ounce found. The police officer in the station found the diary and on his phone took a picture of the entry. How could I know that that 4 ounces amount to 130 grams? It was in the diary. But I said to him, then I said to you now, I ain't calling the name and I ain't calling the station, because it's time you guys in media do some work. People are also asking, why didn't we reveal this before? And you're right to ask that. And I said to you, the answer is simple. My friends, there was a time when I would have given my life for the Prime Minister. Foolishly, of course, but that was the time. There was a time when I would turn my eyes to all her wrongdoings or talk to her secretly, one-on-one, about them. You could curse me if you want, you know. But I'm saying that is the nature of this beast. Because I had always thought that the Prime Minister was a victim of the cabal. Suraj, Ram Logan, Muniral, Sharma, and others. And I felt that my role was to protect her at all costs from the cabal. Even when the cabal eventually got me out of the government, I still defended the Prime Minister. At the height of Chaguanas West by-election, at the height of it, the entire cabinet and the Prime Minister came down on me in the most vicious campaign ever. I said nothing about this event mere months before, because I said again, it's the cabal, not she. The Prime Minister even of course, indulged in racial slurs against me on Pierre Road in Felicity. I said nothing. It's the cabal. The Prime Minister, in October, St. Joseph by-election, she again went after me. I said nothing. I kept quiet because it was the cabal. But when the U.S. sends a provisional warrant to arrest me with no evidence, no charge, and my Prime Minister and your Prime Minister could tell the AG within 15 minutes, sign it and go for him, and hasn't told me a single thing, and let me go to look from station to station to ask is there a warrant for me, and finally to find out there was one in Port of Spain. And when I went to get up myself and was taken to the court and saw 5 attorneys from the government in the court, including Jagdev Singh and Gerald Ramdin, that can't be the cabal. That can't be the cabal. And I said, Jack, your eyes are open. Your eyes are open. As such, therefore, I saw the light. I said the Prime Minister now has to be exposed. Last Friday, I felt I owe it to this country, after she announced date for election, I felt I owe it to this country to expose this Teflon Prime Minister, who for 5 years had fooled me. And since she announced the election date last Friday, I felt the truth must be told. And if after all of this, the country wishes to re-elect her and the PP, that's the country's business. But my conscience would be clear. I'm prepared to sacrifice myself today, not because I love me less, but because I love Trinidad and Tobago more. I listen today to one of the local channels on the radio where a U.S. judge comes in this country this morning and telling people how to vote. I saw where every effort has been made to take me out of this country. And if you want to see, look at the back page of today's Sunshine. You'll see since last year to take what before the general election. And that can't be the cabal. And the U.S. judge this morning on the radio station was saying, vote for her because she's a nice lady. Nice lady? Nice lady? Nice lady? But I'll tell you what, I want to play 3 tapes for you, for this nice lady. And let me begin by saying very early, I apologize for airing these tapes. I've never done it before. I've never destroyed anyone's confidence in me before. But I always felt, in the back of my mind, I felt that this is too important, and the day will come where I would need evidence and proof to show the country both who the Prime Minister is, who Richardson is, and who Jack Warner is. That day will come, I felt. That was my gut feeling. And therefore, I kept those tapes for a day just like this. For a day just like this. In today's scripture, Proverbs 3 says, do not withhold good from those to whom it is due. My friends, today, to you, it is due. Give me the first tape, please.
If she really want to play hardball, just the ultimate. Imagine you ask a question to the Prime Minister. How often have you been in your office on a Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday for the 5 years? Not one day. Not one day. So imagine you are a Prime Minister running a country, and your weekend is from Friday to Wednesday for 5 years. So remember, not one day has she spent a day, Monday, Tuesday, or Wednesday in her office. She comes up to Port of Spain Wednesday night, goes in cabinet, goes in Parliament, stays in her office. She then goes inside Parliament, she spends more 10 minutes if she had to talk or vote, and then goes back south. Her weekend is from Friday night to Wednesday night. Monday to, and the thing is the records there. Now when you tell a country that you want to come for another 5 years and you want to have a 5-day weekend, they will kill us. So we have enough, you and I have enough amount at the moment to let them know, look, you can't play hardball with us. This ain't Dukaran or Prakash you're playing with.
Even the thing that we have there, that we discovered in the house.
Marijuana?
Yeah. Right, which we have not made him public yet.
Well, just to say, let's go back a bit for me again.
Because, I mean,
It's true.
I want to get that.
Right, which we have not made him public yet.
Can you go back a little bit?
To let them know, look, you can't. When you tell a country that you want to come for another 5 years and you want to have a 5-day weekend, they will kill us. So we have enough, you and I have enough amount at the moment to let them know, look, you can't play hardball with us. This ain't Dukaran or Prakash you're playing with.
Even the thing that we have there, that we discovered in the house.
Marijuana?
Yeah. Right, which we have not made him public yet. We could go on a platform and see them and say that because I mean,
it's true.
It's a fact.
That was a discussion between Captain Griffith and me. And when I said the thing we discovered there, he said marijuana. I had to tell him, he said marijuana, and he said it is a fact. But today, the Commissioner of Police, Deputy Commissioner of Police, everybody, of course, trying to cover for Kamla and to break for her. And they don't understand that in doing so, they're doing the country an injustice. But that ain't all. Tape 2, please. By the way, before I start, that first talk was on March the 8th, eh?
Yeah.
March the 8th.
Yeah.
That is the release you gave out on this Batterboy?
Yeah, well, covering myself. I have to cover myself, man.
You are saying that what I say is not true and no substance exists?
Jack, what I'm telling you, I'm not denying it. If they ask for it is true, I will say yes, but I'm not involved.
Gary, have you read that release?
No, but what it is saying is that I am involved in a cover-up, Jack. I can't. I have to take my name.
Gary, all I'm saying to you again. You are saying that substance, that there was no such illegal substance?
No. Listen. Wait. Let me explain. What I'm saying is that I have a report that I am aware that illegal substance was found. What has to happen after that? The police are supposed to go and do an investigation to come back to us.
Your press release didn't say that. Your press release didn't say that.
No, it did. Look down. It did. It says the police never got back. What the police are supposed to do is to get back to confirm that the substance that they acquired was an illegal substance. It is down there. Read it. I want to check it.
Let me say. So how can I be involved in a cover-up when I don't even know it was ever an illegal substance or illegal substance tested and put in the marijuana?
But that is correct because remember. But you don't know either. There's nobody criminal.
You just told me that.
No, but my point, I never saw the picture. Listen, the only thing I got is they said that they found marijuana by the Prime Minister. I didn't know how much. I thought it was cocaine, in fact. What I'm saying is that what the police are supposed to do after they acquire the evidence, they're supposed to go and test it to verify that it's not him or whatever, and come back to us.
You are saying that you never spoken to the Prime Minister and then that thing took place.
No, I never spoke to her.
That you contacted her the morning?
No, I never spoke to her. Actually, I never spoke to the Prime Minister on this matter. I never ever spoke to her.
So how come you became aware of it then?
I think it was either you or somebody passed it on, but she never talked to me about it. And you see me, I thinking, I tell she never told us, my God. I think it's you and I talk. I think you pass it on to me. And who it is, boys, somebody in the residence, I think one of the security guards bring it on to our attention. This is I had to find marijuana night before, I will tell you, and then I talk to you about it. The woman never talked to me. But I could tell you though, I go back down. If the media ask me if I'm aware of it, I just waiting for the police to state that they have the report, and I will say yes, I was aware that marijuana was found. But what I'm saying is that the police never got back to me to say that they did the test and they verified.
All right. Okay.
Right, remember, Jack, what this house is that I involved in a massive cover-up to protect Kamla. That is a lie. I was not involved in that.
Okay, all right. Okay.
Right, but just check it. What I read it, I said that the police need to test and get back. The onus I put it on the police now, Galgul and Richardson have to come clean. And they have to admit that they found the marijuana, and they have to admit that they tested it and verified that it's true. So what I have in the report is to say, I don't know if this is Israeli marijuana. I was just told by people. I ain't gonna call your name unless you're willing to. That the Minister of National Security, as the National Security Advisor, he spoke to me and he did tell me, and there were some security guards by the Prime Minister who did also bring it to my attention. But that is my only involvement. So I am not going to deny that I knew about it. But I can't verify that. What's supposed to happen? The police are supposed to come back and say, listen, we did the test and it was verified that it's him or it's marijuana, whatever. They never came back. So I can't say it was marijuana. You can't say it either. The police supposed to say these things, not us.
Right.
That's my point. Okay. All right? Okay. All right.
That was Sunday afternoon because of this Sunday going here, because of the release he made. The first one was March the 8th. That was Sunday.
Okay.
I'm saying this to you because I was complaining about his release not being true. And of course, trying, again to cover for the President, for the Prime Minister. I was attacking him on that. Not on cover up. Because I don't care you cover up or cover down. The fact is, the critical point is, there was marijuana found on the Prime Minister's residence under her window. The second thing is, she was not in the country, and she asked if she could come back and resign. And that's all I'm saying. Cover up. I am saying to you again, I know I have done it wrong, and I will pay for that in the fullness of time. But the fact is, I cannot continue with this, having known now that it's not the cabal, it's the Prime Minister. Listen to the third tape.
Minister.
Yeah, listen, I want to know. You see, Denise right now called me. I don't want to set you up. She asked if you ever told me. I don't know. I prefer if you say that you told me, I will want to say yes. But I don't want to say that next thing you say, no, you never talked to me. I have to be very careful. I don't want to set up anybody.
I don't mind if you say I told you. I want to make sure that, of course, you were aware at that point in time.
Of course I was aware, 100%. I remember I told you then, I'm not going to set you up. I feel like people are lying.
It makes me look at different line about something.
No, and I just told you,
I want to do.
I just told you, this is not, do not see it in any way. I am questioning the statements by Minister Warner. Minister Warner, but if it is that he got information from the police, what I am saying is that the only owner that can confirm the authenticity is not Warner, myself, or Kamla. The police had a right, and the police have a right. If they took the evidence, they should have gone back to the station, tested it, and then come back to us with a report. That was never done to me. And that's what I'm saying. So, what I do is that the police have to, and that's what I kept saying in my statement today in the papers, so I say the police have a right to come forward. I can't come forward because suppose it's him. But just tell Denise, if Denise, because she did ask me, I told, because Kamla never talked to me on this or Rudy. But if you say that, because I remember you talked to me, I know you think, right? It's some in the woman house, and a couple told us they hear so too. So I can verify that, and I'm going to deny that from you. I ain't gonna lie to you, for you. All right? I'll show you that. So if you want to tell her, I could verify it's true, that I knew about the allegation. All right? Okay.